Hi everyone, this is Katrina and welcome back to another video. This video will be about my time during week 6 and 7, which a lot happened. I went to the ER, celebrated galentines, my club had a lot of events, and I had a bunch of midterms as well as a concert, and I really hope you enjoy this video. I first started off my day by getting breakfast at B Plate, and then I headed off to URL to study and get some matcha. I studied until 5 p.m. and then later I headed back to my dorm to order some DoorDash for dinner. The next morning, I started off my day with getting an acai bowl. Melanie recommended it and showed me it from BCAP, and it's been really good. Also, fun fact, I don't like fruit, but I'll eat them in other forms. Later, I headed towards my lab to conduct studies all day until 5 p.m. And this lab is mainly based in psychology, so I conducted a lot of studies on students. My club was also hosting a Valentine's fundraiser, so I prepped by printing out some flyers as well. Then later I headed back to my dorm to eat some feast for dinner, edited some videos, and studied. The next day I walked to class and it was super rainy, but it was the first day of my club's fundraiser, so I was really excited. And thank you so much for my amazing team who persevered through the weather, and especially those who came out to support us. We sold a lot of yummy goods, and were able to have a successful first day. After helping with the fundraiser, I headed towards my physics lab and then afterwards headed to my cancer research lab. Luckily, I was able to get a matcha to help me power through the day. When I was in lab, I had a lot of experiments to run. I first had to process the humanized mice blood samples, to which I had to lysate ACK and then wash it off with PBS. I then had to vortex, centrifuge, and aspirate the samples until there was pellets that accumulated at the bottom. Once I finished processing the blood samples, I transferred it to a well plate for further analysis. I then had to centrifuge it as well as decanting it and repeated this process a few more times. This is so that I could have a saturated sample at the bottom of the well. After repeating this process a few times, I resuspended it in PBS and headed over to begin cell counting. The reason why I'm doing all of this is to count how many dendritic cells there are in these samples. My research lab focuses on the effectiveness of mRNA vaccines for pancreatic cancer, so by counting the dendritic cells, it can help measure the immune activation levels and see if the treatment is working. After a long day of lab, I headed back to my dorm to conduct some clinic training. And I was super excited because our new scrubs came in. For dinner, I got ronde and then I watched my video of Melanie. The next day, it was super rainy again, and there was a lot of flash flood warnings, so I had to cancel my fundraiser for that day specifically, but we resumed everything on Friday. And I still had to go to class, so I had to push through. For dinner, I went to Cafe 1919 for the first time. I don't know why I haven't gone here sooner, but it was super yummy. The next day was Valentine's, so it was such an exciting day. Not only was there the fundraiser, but I had galentines later that evening with my best friends. I first got a matcha, then I headed over to set up with my friends. Luckily it wasn't raining anymore, so a lot of people showed up. And I was really happy because everyone on campus was very spirited and everyone was in such a good mood. I was able to buy some treats for my roommates too, so I surprised them with Valentine's gifts on their desks. And I also bought some for myself too, of course. I then studied in my dorm until it was time to get ready for galentines. Cookie!
I wanted to go back next to that.
Yes. The next morning, my grandpa picked me up, and we went back to OC so I can visit my family. After lunch, we headed to Costco, and this was moments before disaster.
Can you carry it? No!
It was really dumb, but I ate a Costco cookie sample and it contained nuts, and I'm allergic to very specific nuts, so I had the most severe allergic reaction of my life and I had to go to the ER. But shout out to my aunt for her quick thinking and taking me to the ER, as well as my uncle for cleaning up my throw up. But luckily everything worked out and I'm okay, and now I carry EpiPens wherever I go. The next day I had to lock in, especially because I spent a whole day recovering, so I had a lot of content and missed classwork to do. After studying, I went to Target to buy some snacks and then had dinner with my family again. I think I burnt myself out because I ended up sleeping the entire morning and afternoon, so when it was nighttime I had dinner with my aunt and uncle as well as my cousins before heading back to campus. After dinner, I headed back to campus and prepared for a long night of studying, especially since I had a lot to catch up on.
But Melanie got me.
I was so excited to study at the Blue Room, which is my favorite study spot, but then I had to walk all the way back to my dorm because I forgot that it was midterms week, so it was super crowded and there was no room left. The next day I had lab early in the morning, and this time there was no experiments to be run. Instead, we were preparing for a presentation.
Similar number of DCs, 1.5.
After lab, I went to my favorite cafe to study a bit and get a matcha before my classes. After classes, I went back to my dorm and changed into a nice comfy shirt, and then I studied in my dorm with my roommate Melanie. Once it was night, I showered and changed, and then I headed out to get some dinner. After getting dinner, I headed to the study to have a really long study session. I know this day's content is filled with just studying, but it's because my midterms are coming up, so I spent a total about, 7 hours studying for physics and psych. The next day I had lab early in the morning again, and I don't really have much content because I'm only allowed to report certain experiments. Afterwards, I went to Acronyms to get an espresso donut and some matcha, as well as pasta for lunch. After classes, I headed towards my psychology lab. During this time, I did some data prep and conducted some studies, but after I was finished, I did some studying. I studied until 5 p.m. and then afterwards, I headed towards a review content session hosted by my TAs because my midterm was the next day. The review session ended around 7 p.m. and then I quickly changed and ate dinner, and I was super excited because Emma and I were going to K-Town to do some late night studying. We studied until the cafe closed, and then afterwards we wanted to get a sweet treat to reward our 5-hour study session, so we went to BCD.
Yay, I'm so excited. Yay, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. It looks so yummy. It's like literally bubbling.
Wednesdays we're gonna go to the gym.
And we never did.
The next day I had to take my psych midterm, which was in the afternoon, but then afterwards I was really excited because my club was hosting their last meeting. Although it was our last general meeting, we still had a lot of clinics and workshops scheduled. It was kind of bittersweet, but luckily we had pizza and a lot of fun all together.
We can post that.
Yes.
After the meeting, I went to go get dinner at In-N-Out with my best friend Alina, and I also hung out with her before having another late night study session in Cape Town.
Oh my god. Oh,
Wait, hold on.
why is it bubbling?
Do you see it? It's growing.
After hanging out with Alina and Audrey, I went back to my dorm to get changed so that I can go to Cape Town again with Emma to study. I was a little bit stressed because the next day I had my physics midterm early in the morning, and I had to finish up my cheat sheet.
Hi vlog. It's currently 2:30 a.m. Sunlin's also up. She's my roommate. This is her desk. We're both gonna do all-nighters. She's gonna sleep for an hour and a half, which is one REM cycle if you didn't know. So if you're ever doing all-nighters, I don't recommend again. You should take naps for an hour and 30 because that's what a full REM cycle is. So it tricks your body into thinking like you have full sleep. I don't know if you can see, but I literally have bags under my eyes. Like I'm trying. It's like the point in time in the night where I like contemplate why I'm pre-med sometimes, but it'll be okay. I'm just like a little bit loopy because I made an entire cheat sheet and now I need to redo it because I did it content based rather than formula based because this is a physics class. Sorry, I really don't like physics, but yeah. I hope you're enjoying the video so far.
After my crash out, I continued with the all-nighter and I created a new formula sheet. A positive to all this intense studying is that I get to see the pretty sunrise. After printing the formula sheet, I headed to campus to take the exam, and then afterwards I headed to my favorite cafe to eat some breakfast. After breakfast, I headed towards my cancer research lab and I did some data prep and I did some experiments as well. Usually with all-nighters, I go to campus in my PJs, so that's why you can see me wearing my Sabrina Carpenter shirt. After a long day at lab, I went back to my dorm to eat some lunch at Ronde. Afterwards, I did some laundry and chores, but I was really excited because later that night, Alina, Audrey, and I were going to celebrate the end of midterms. I brought my own dinner to their apartment, which was curry from Feast, but it wasn't that good, and they were super nice to cook up some potatoes, which was way more yummy. And then later we had a sweet treat and watched Lilo Stitch and more movies. The next day I DoorDashed my lunch because I thought I deserved it, and then also I knew I had to get back on my study grind, so a friend and I were going to a cafe to study in Westwood.
Never had my name spelled like that.
Sabrina Treya.
After a long study sesh, I headed back to go get some dinner with my roommate. We were supposed to get dinner at the food trucks together, but the one she wanted had a long line, so I went to the one in Reber instead. After our yummy dinners, I was super excited because Sunlen and I were going to the Droop concert together. Ever since freshman year, my roommate and I have been concert buddies, and it's a really cute tradition I treasure.
About you on this telephone.
Disclaimer, I'm so sorry that all the videos are kind of lowered and that there's a lot of people in the way. I'm kind of short, so that's just my point of view every time I go to a concert.
Hi, so we finished the concert. It was great. Here's the ticket. And then I also got a shirt as like a souvenir. So, oh yeah, and then there's a cute sign. Ooh, that's cute. That's cute, yeah.
I know, I couldn't.
Yeah, that was fun. That's so cool.
No, but like, I knew it was on, it's called Sunset.
The next day, my friends and I wanted to go study at a cafe again, but this time we wanted something new, so we went to Santa Monica instead of Westwood. Emma was supposed to join us, but she had time conflicts, so it was just Michael and I this time.
Are you laughing at me getting content? I like snow.
It's a crazy position you're sitting in.
Okay. It's still not.
Just to be independent.
Wait.
Another time lapse.
Yeah, because now I'm doing MCAT studying, so now it's a different. No, I like H&M. I like PacSun better now. He knows that, so then like that's why like, you know. No.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, especially if you made it to the end of the video. I know these past few weeks were really eventful and hectic, and I really hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!